Hey guys, it's Savannah, and I'm back with another rhetorical analysis on an article covering mental health. However, this time we're going to spice it up with comparing and contrasting a previous article I've already covered. We're going to compare Battling the Stigma of Mental Illness by Ezra Mizion and What is Stigma by Jenny Cadell. Before we hop right into it, let's recap a little bit of what went on in Mizion's article, shall we? Let's go. So, the general goals of this article was to educate the public on the stigmas surrounding mental health. He covers things like how families have suffered due to the lack of care given to them, where resources can be found to help them, and protocols to use in the most common events dealt with. Mizon's use of logos was very good. He himself is a credited author and creator, which adds credibility to his statements. With every bit of information, statistic, or resource given out, it's accompanied by someone credited. He also lists a lot of organizations founded by himself, offering support and guidance to those in need, as well as stating that at the end of his presentations that he has received a standing ovation, which creates a bandwagon effect, almost making you appreciate and respect his article and work even more. Moving forward to ethos, this article was so enriched with ethos, it was amazing. Pretty much within every statement he was making, he provided a source for all his information, and most of the time he had links attached to them to further prove. As you can keep reading here, he even states the people who have backed up his research or credited them, as well as links on the side of his page with all the organizations and funding that he has done, showing that he has exceptional knowledge on the topic. Overall, my opinion on this article written by Ezra Mizion was positive. He gave more than enough sources and reasons for me to have trust in what he was saying. The only thing with all that proof is that it felt like it was almost kind of like a brag article, kind of like, oh, here's all my knowledge on this topic because I do all these amazing things, which is perfectly fine, but it was more of a beginner's guide into the stigmas of health and protocols to deal with those suffering from mental illness rather than details of what they actually are. His main goal by the end of this article was to show that everyone is the same, no matter what you go through. So that was fun. And now let's move on to What is Stigma by Jenny Cadell. Basically, in Cadell's article, she goes over what stigmas are and how it is used in everyday life. She gives a lot of examples of how they can be used so frequently and why we still have stigmas around every day, as well as how it can affect people and ways for them to cope with the aftermath of these stigmas. She does an excellent job of showing these. As we dig a little bit deeper into our article, you're going to see how she provides a lot more detail into the insights of stigmas, the effects around them, and just more things like that. So, with that being said, let's start digging a little bit deeper into this article. She starts this article right off the bat with strong ethos. At the very top of the article, she states how the entire thing has been reviewed and certified that it's accurate by a medical professional, which I'll show you guys later. With constant updates being made, we can ensure that it's completely up to date with the most current information. Just like Mizion, she also hyperlinks a lot of attachments to the statements in case the reader would like further information on a topic. Also at the bottom, she provides two stickers of certification on her article. So, as I was saying before, right here you can see at the very top of our article, it says medically reviewed by Stephen Gons, MD. And if you click on the link, you can see everything that he's done in all his past and certifications. Continuing on in how ethos was used, if you take a look here, she started off a statement with research has shown, which leads into her next topic, and ended the paragraph with a hyperlink attached, taking the reader to where the research was shown. So that concludes the ethos shown in this article, and which I believe deserves a complete round of applause on her end. Moving forward to logos, the author addresses her opinions on why stigmas and misconceptions of mental illnesses are still around. She states that with the study of psychology, psychiatry, and philosophy being relatively new to the world, we are only at the tip of the iceberg. The author believes that with people in the world continuing to write articles, do research, and continue to study, it won't be long until the stigma can be ended. The author also goes over examples of how people and movies contribute to these stigmas, making others feel terrible. With people saying things like, she's crazy, or try harder, it doesn't help people in their situation try to improve. The author kind of tied the logos into her pathos. With the statements of, "you're crazy" and "try harder" and just other things like that, we can relate and understand how it is used so often that it's never even given a second thought. She explains how it can make someone feel less than others. She allows all of the readers to relate to it by comparing it to teachers, friends, or parents saying these things to us. This creates a very strong pathos and connection to her readers. And just to simply tie this all off, we can see how she has certified posts by different people certifying how accurate her article is. My overall opinion on her article was that it was amazing. The author provided real life examples and great connections to how we can make it better. This was very detailed into what stigmas are and how we can help treat them, as well as giving further reasons as to why we would want to help. She explained how it can make others feel, creating a strong connection to her readers. Cadell also provided a lot of resources to those who need help. So, with all of that being said, let's dive into a few similarities and differences between these two articles. Similarities between these articles include a discussion of mental health relating them to stigmas. Both authors have outstanding amounts of research backed into it, making their articles trustworthy to its readers. They also provided resources for help and discussed the impact stigmas can have on people. A few of the differences I noticed was in the first article by Ezra Mizion. His was more about resources and facilities to help people. He covered general effects stigmas can have on families and talked a lot about what he has done to help people who have suffered. Meanwhile, Cadell gave more examples and insights to these different styles of stigmas. She gave more real-life examples to stigmas that go around to help make our audience more aware. She also gave more answers as to why stigmas are still around to this day and gave positive hope to those who have been affected that with time we can break these stigmas. Overall, both of these articles were very informative. Both of them discussed the stigmas that circle around mental illness and the care we need for mental health. They offered support and advice alongside. I feel like articles like these are extremely important since it's not something that's talked about on a regular basis, or at all. We are constantly told, "oh, someone else has it worse," which has trained ourselves to invalidate how we feel because it could be worse, taking us to an endless cycle of losing our minds and rejecting help. These articles have also reminded me to be more aware of what I say, for it can have effects on people. I'm very grateful for authors like these who take the time of day to talk about things that others need to hear. So, thank you all so much for following me in my rhetorical analysis of these two articles. It's been so much fun, and I hope you guys can join me again soon. I'll see you all later. Bye!